we have a young man that he's graduated now. He's been gone 2 or 3 years, and he will be back. I know he will be. But his first year, he showed up to camp, and he just was real standoffish and everything. And as part of the mentoring program, about the time that he came in, I had made a decision to start going and talking to the parents in person to get the paperwork filled out instead of mailing it out. And so I got to go sit down with his parents. I think it was the second year that he was back, part of our program. And they said, Scott says, you don't understand the difference in this child that you guys have made. And I said, how's that? And they said, well, it says, because we got him when he was 9 months old. And nobody had ever held him or anything. He just existed. And we got him, and they said for the first year or so, every time that we'd pick him up, he'd just stiffen up like a board. And he just didn't want anything to do with being held. And they said that when he was, I think, around 18 months old, that he made himself mute for like 13 months. Didn't utter a sound. They said that whole time, he only ever showed emotion one time. He showed a single tear. Other than that, that was it for like 13 months. And so we fast forward, he comes to his first Royal Family Kids Camp, and he shows up, and he's all tough and defensive and everything. And he got home, and they said, Scott says, like a day or two after he got home, he realized that he missed being with you guys, and he started crying. And they said he cried for almost 2 solid weeks, all the time. And they were ecstatic because the dam had finally broken. They'd finally broken through his emotional barriers. And they've went on to tell us stories. Denise and I have become good friends with the parents. The relationships don't exist just between us as counselors and staff and that, because I've got some really good relationships with some of the parents. And they're definitely two really special people. They said, because he was going to special counseling, he had to go to special classes because he was getting in trouble and all this stuff. And they said all that stuff went away, and he's just an entirely different kid. And they said we owe it all to Royal Family Kids. So we couldn't have done it without you guys. And those are the stories that make you come back. It's kind of like when you're a golfer. I'm not a very big golfer, but you get that one shot, you hit it right where you want it to be, 300 yards right down the middle. That's the shot that makes you come back. And it's the things like that really keeps you coming back, and they happen more often with this than they ever do in golf.
Scott's even joked with that boy and talked to him about being the next club director and and all that. And he's like, okay. I mean, he's wanting to come back. He's wanting to be a big part of it. Yeah.